Here we are.
We are in a basket with a
We
very
are.
exciting piece of artwork.
It's
Got to
a
get the branding in there.
lovely. I mean, this is the most stunning example of branding I've ever seen. And I'm gonna
Are
get
you
it
going to hang it on
on
your wall? Oh, yeah.
my wall. Yeah. We'll get it for our office. I mean, it's just lovely.
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
delightful.
I've added it.
Okay,
So here we
nice.
are. First thing, and I think I put this on the previous iteration of this teardown. Um, I can't guess checkout. What are your
Right.
thoughts?
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Photobox, should we explain what Photobox is
We
briefly?
probably should.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea, isn't it? So it's
Mm.
one of these like, oh, I want to make my own photo canvas print, whatever it might be. And you can go along and create all of that and have it sent to you to put on your wall or wherever you might want to put it. The issue I have with this, I mean, it'd be interesting to see the number of returning users.
Mhm.
Because for me, I guess this kind of product is a once in a blue moon thing. I'm not going to do this on a regular basis. It's not like my weekly Tesco shop or something. Do you know? Do you know what I'm saying? I
Mm.
mean, there might well be a segment of users that do come back regularly, but as a guest, I'm thinking most people this is kind of like a one-shot wonder for a gift or a one-off occasion, something like that. So it would make sense to have a guest checkout with the option to create account at the end. Should you feel like it rather than forcing an account to be
Yeah,
created? What do you think?
I think they're probably losing people at that stage.
Yeah, I'm guessing
Because they're
so.
not the only people that do this, as far as I'm aware. Because I've used these, not these, but I've used a competitor,
Mm.
presumably. If I have to go through the rigmarole, and I can't remember exactly how it was, so maybe I'm being unfair, but email, password, confirm this, confirm that. What's your phone number? What's
Where's your birth certificate?
yeah, exactly. I'm like, I just want to buy this lovely logo
Yeah,
and put it on my wall. That's
and
all I
put it
want.
on your wall. Yeah, I think guest checkout is a pretty standard feature. Well, apparently not, but I think most companies have kind of realised that you can't force account creation, and if you're doing that, it's a barrier to completing your purchase, right? I mean, who can be bothered these days? Not me.
No.
So that would be my first recommendation. On the provision that the research is there to support it and the data. I'd love to see how many people bounce at that page. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to first. Be like,
Mm.
have you checked how many people you might be losing here because of this?
Yeah, yeah. So that'd be a good, top tip for Photobox. Have a look at your data and see how
There
many are
you go.
dropping
You
out.
heard it here
Yeah.
first.
Anyway, despite the forced account creation,
So
let's
here
have
we
a look at
are.
this.
Here we are. My first, and we haven't done, to be fair, I didn't do this page before.
Mm.
Um, so this is all fresh, but there's this big add your promo code box here,
Yeah,
which can seem like a great idea.
it is, but it's very prominent. I don't think you should ever remove the option to be able to add a promotion, but the way in which you do it can be paramount to that.
Yeah.
So, there are loads of different approaches to it, as you've probably seen on the millions of forms and things that you've had a look at. You can minimize it, make sure it's still visible with on the page, but just minimize it in the hierarchy. So if people have got it, they can fill it in. For me, this one takes up a lot of space. And actually, on initial look, I mean, I know the mechanism behind it, but for me, that looks like that promo box doesn't work full stop, right? Because they've disabled the submit button.
Mm,
Um, Kind of like, well, should I use it? Shouldn't I use it? I don't know. It wouldn't be the
mm.
approach that I would take. And like you've just triggered the error there. Sorry, the promotion code you entered doesn't exist. Please double check the code that you have entered. So what's the user going to do? They're going to go, oh, a code.
A
Oh,
discount?
I
Come
want to go and
on,
get my
man.
discount. I'm going.
Mm.
And that's just daft. I think we all know that's not necessarily the right approach to signpost people to go off and do something else, because invariably if they don't find a code, then they feel disappointed, and the intent to purchase is then lessened, I suppose, because you had this idea that you're going to go off and go get a discount code, and you get quite excited, and then you fail miserably, or you try one of the 20 on the dodgy discount code websites and none of them fill in or work despite them promising that it's going to happen. So it's wasted time. The momentum for the purchase is suddenly lost, and it's just general friction overall. I mean,
it's a bitter taste, isn't it?
It is a bit.
I get a discount. Now I'm not thinking about my wonderful wall logo I'm going to get. I'm thinking of the fact that I feel like I'm paying over the odds.
But it's quite expensive anyway. Yeah, so maybe. I don't know. It's like going into Sainsbury's or Tesco's or whatever, and you've forgotten your Nectar card or your club card, and then all of a sudden everything is twice the price, right? It's bitter disappointment. That's what it is.
Yeah. And then the cashier's telling you, well, if you had your club card, you could have got 10%.
Yeah. Well, they even tell you that on the little price labels, don't they? Yeah. Instead of paying £15 for this jar of coffee,
you're a mug.
Yeah, you're a literal mug.
Well, the worst thing for me would be on this, and who knows, if there's no promo running at the minute and they've left
just hide it entirely, right? If there's no promo, or bake it into the price, which seems a little controversial, right? But you could pre-fill that with a 5% discount code. And then all of a sudden that the user is satiated because you've put something in there for them. They've got it, and it's reward versus effort. It's like, oh, I've already got the disc. They've given me it. It's pre-filled. Yeah, I just have to apply it. Therefore, I'm happy with that. I'll carry on. You've reduced the amount of friction. You've reduced the need for me to go bargain hunting elsewhere. And I'm quite happy with that. So yeah, lots of different ways to deal with it. This is not the best.
A big banner. I put it in a big yellow, whatever color scheme you want, on the top.
Oh yeah.
Use this promo code.
You can do that as well. I'm a big believer in reducing friction. Why stick it in a banner if you can just pre-fill the field, right? It's just
True. I mean, what we see on Zuko all the time when we're analyzing interactions around this is you'll see things like, okay, user goes in here, they put in 3 key presses, they hit submit. They go back. They put in
they're their very own code breakers, right?
They go, You might see 3, 4, or 5 bounces between those 2 fields.
Yeah, you know what they're doing in between. What we just said, right?
The abandon, you'll say, "Oh, that submit button there has an abandoned rate of 10%." Because everyone's jumping off here and then they're going down the rabbit hole to try and find. Now they might come back, or they might not. So you've just lost somebody, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. I believe you guys have got screen recording right now, so you can even have a look at a video of it and not just be even more disappointed with your poor discount code information.
Yeah, you can even watch it. You can watch the loss conversion.
Oh, just to drain your soul even further. Amazing. What else is a bit rubbish?
In the first place, I suppose.
Well, yeah. I don't like that delivery 11th of December. Why stick it there? That's stupid.
I don't know about you, but I mean, I'm starting to get to, I haven't noticed this before, but I'm starting to get to needing readers. Probably got another couple of years.
Mate, 40 onwards. In fact, it's probably a little bit before 40, so 35 plus. How old are you now? Can I ask?
I've got loads of years.
But interesting, that from 35 plus, we're all losing eyesight. It just gets worse, just part of aging. Quite a lot of small fonts on here, and also I'm gonna hazard a guess that the contrast levels are not great in this lower section of the page. So, and remove product. Well,
I mean,
okay.
Right, I've got rid of the horrible error message, but it's this. I mean, we'll get onto this anyway in terms of using this as kind of placeholder stuff, but that is quite difficult to read.
Yeah, and it's in italic as well. Why? What do you need to do it in italics for? What's the point in
But it
that?
looks nice.
Oh, yeah. Just keep it straight, you know. Some of us are tired when we're ordering. We don't need stuff to be difficult to read. So just make it
Yeah,
easy, make it bigger, make sure the contrast is right, keep the same styles and decent hierarchy of your headings and subheadings and stuff. So yeah, I'm
agreed.
I'm not old and bitter. I really am. It's fine.
Yeah. I
All right,
mean, my eyes are sore now. Anyway, should
yeah,
we go in and see
go on then.
to get to the
Ta-da. Okay.
the infamous
Can we
so
can we do my
we should
most
probably
fa-
shout out Chris, shouldn't we? Because
Oh yes, he noticed the V2.
it was Chris's battle that brought this to our attention in the first place. And Chris said this is V2.
Yes, exactly. So we don't know if they have literally just flipped to V2 or if they're testing this or what they're doing. We kind of hope they're testing it and that test is rapidly coming to an end. I really hope they haven't just flipped to this. But there you go. This is why we test, right? Maybe there's some lessons to be learned. And, you know, for all I know, it could be doing remarkably well. I'd be
It could be.
surprised. It might be doing well on mobile because, you know, it might look better on mobile. I don't know. On desktop, though,
I think on it on mobile, it looks less. It's not quite as bad because it's not. I think it's kind of stacked.
yeah,
From remember.
it's an interesting thing. And I don't know if it's just me, but
Hmm.
I am. There are some things I will purchase on a mobile, but
Hmm.
most things are a computer purchase, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
I need the screen estate, the real estate to be able to do what I'm doing, especially on something that requires quite a lot of interaction, like this Photobox stuff. There's things to be doing. You
Mhm.
can't really easily, I don't think, do that on a mobile phone, perhaps even on a
No.
tablet, right? So it's a you might look at it on mobile and go, oh, that might be something I'll have a play with, but you will revert to your laptop, desktop, whatever it is to be able to do that. Personally, from my point of view, again, the data would tell us what's happening. But that's why it's so important to review what you're doing across multiple
Hmm.
devices and make sure breakpoints are sensible and not like this.
Yeah, I'd agree. No, I think, like I said, it could go either way with this because there's an artwork section. You got to upload your artwork,
Yeah,
and then you've got to approve your artwork.
yeah.
And I think you can kind of reposition it and all that kind of
Hmm.
stuff.
Are you going to do
So,
that on a phone though? Are you really?
no, I don't think I
No.
would personally,
Mm.
but maybe we're old school. I don't know.
Old
The only
school.
other thing I can think is if you've got, let's say, you're blowing up a picture of something or somebody,
Yeah.
that picture might be on your phone, so
Mm.
it might be easier for you to.
Yeah. So I wonder
But
what
the
that.
point stands completely. Don't just have one version,
Yeah.
mobile version it isn't great.
No. I would love to know, like that journey you've just described. Like maybe you're sat on the sofa, spotted in front of Netflix, and think, oh, I know what I'll do because this is really boring. I'm going to
Mm,
do something on Photobox. And yes, you might go there on your phone, and of course, all your photos are probably on your phone, so it's well easy to do that, right? It's just tap tap
mm,
tap tap. What I would like to see is what happens from that point where you give up trying to do it on your mobile. So you've uploaded your photo, and then it starts to get very difficult if you're tweaking it or whatever. What is
mm.
the kind of like omni-channel experience of that? So could I just like send myself a link to what I've my work in progress so I can have a look at it on the desktop? I don't know. It's an interesting thing to think about.
We'd have to go back and check, wouldn't we?
Oh, I don't know if I've got the time.
Look, right here. To be fair,
I'll send you a
maybe we
photo
could
box
do
Christmas present, Adam. There you go.
maybe we could do a form shred version 3 of this. You
Oh,
could have a whole series of it.
we could, yeah, but let's not be too harsh, eh?
No. Yeah, I told you, you've got to find the good redeeming qualities of it.
That's your job, not mine.
Redeeming quality, then. Right, I'm going to start with one. Now we're on the subject. It's
Go
got
on.
a progress bar.
It has, which is helpful, always helpful on a checkout to show people where
Mm,
they're at.
mm.
Um, I wonder if any of those are clickable as you go through. I mean, how easy is it to go backwards once you've gone forwards?
I suspect it's not. They doesn't
Yeah,
look like it.
yeah. So that's another thing that often comes up in QA is not being able to navigate throughout the checkout, or being able to do that with the browser action and relying on CTAs within the checkout. So, if you do it on the browser, all of a sudden you're booted back to your basket and not where you were expecting to go because you've missed the CTAs to work through the form backwards and forth. So, another thing to look out for. Plus side, they have got a phone number there in case of difficulty. So I'll give them a brownie point for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You
Tried
don't
ringing
sound
it.
convinced. Well, yeah, if they pick up. But you know what? I'd rather have that than a chatbot.
Why?
Why? Because I hate chatbots. Because in that invariably, my go-to option is speak to a human or whatever phrase it is. I think that I can work around to get past the AI and actually speak to a human.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it depends on the person, doesn't it? Some people don't like talking on the phone and stuff. So
Yeah, it depends how desperate you are, right?
I
I'm a
want my
big believer.
logo on my wall, Abby.
Yeah, well, I know
I'm
you
gonna do
do.
anything for it.
Maybe the phone call is prominent. Okay. So go on then. Let's have a look. We're going to do the left side or the right side first?
Well, I mean, it's a bit of overload, this, isn't it?
I don't. I'm going to start on the right because I've noticed something. So they've got your basket and then a backlink.
Mm.
I'm not going to notice that. What does that do? Oh, it does take you back to the basket. Amazing.
You know why I think they're doing that? Look underneath.
Oh,
They're rubbing it in. They're
yeah.
rubbing it in that I don't have
Oh,
a
that
discount.
reminder that in case you didn't have a promotion code,
Yeah.
it's your last chance to go and find a
Mm.
promotion code in the depth of Google.
If you haven't gone down the rabbit hole yet, this is
Yeah,
your last
this
opportunity.
is this is the
Off you
opportunity.
go. Off
Yeah.
you go. Back again. We're not going that way to we're going
You're
that
one step
way.
further away from checking her about.
Yeah.
No, it's silly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really don't rub it in. I don't have a discount.
No. Just as a reminder, you're not going to get anything off that £125.48 you're about to spend. Sucker. Okay, sorry.
Oh well. Oh well.
Right.
Right. Well, it saved my previous address.
That's because you had to create an account.
Correct. Well,
Oh dear.
right then, let's have a look. So,
Right.
redeeming feature number 2.
Right.
Either it knows I'm in the UK or the vast majority of my traffic is from the UK. So it's kindly put it to the top.
Brilliant.
Going all the way down.
What's the last one? Oh, Vatican City.
If you're in Wallace and Fortuna,
you're very unfortunate.
Yeah.
So, an
I don't
easy
know what
way.
the delivery cost would be to Wallace and Fortuna. Anyway,
well, we should just send it to some random person there and find out because that'd be quite funny.
because of a form fail, you've got this.
Yeah.
Wall.
So there are ways. I like the fact that they've put however they're working it out. They've got popular country at the top, right? That's great. It doesn't really serve those people who are not in the UK, however. So on these very long country drop downs, it's usually quite helpful to have like a search. So you can just start typing and it takes you to the one that you need. It's not a big ask, is it?
No. So kind of a select two type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you start you start typing it in and it will narrow down.
Yeah.
You could probably do if you got a keyboard here using this type of select, I'd imagine. Yeah, you can. But on a mobile, you're not going to be able to do that.
No.
And
I find those hit and miss. Sometimes you tap a letter and it's just like something's not quite right here.
Yeah. Or the worst ones are like, let's say I'm typing in Portugal, so I put in a P and an O,
Mm.
But the first time it'll go to a P, and then on the O, it'll flip to think of a country beginning with O. And I was like, well, it's kind of
No, I can't think of one.
I can't. Maybe
Like,
that's a pop
like
quiz
pop quiz, yeah.
for our many,
Countries
many.
beginning with O, yeah.
You can put it in. You can put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Um, right now we get to the fun bit. I mean, where do you start with this?
Where do I start?
Address line to postcard. I mean,
What is it?
I'm gonna let you go here. You can let rip.
Well, why? Too many things. Why this horizontal thing for the fields, address line one, address line two, postcode? That
Mm,
defies all convention and it's just poor design, right? And it goes against best practice. But pretty much the universal way of filling in address, line by line. You work down line by line, not across. I might do that for a Royal Mail package I'm sending next, tomorrow. I'm just going to write it unconventionally, see how their systems cope. Same for humans, right? You present something like this, it's like, why is this more difficult than it needs to be? It should be vertical. And my guess is, like I said on the LinkedIn post, that somebody's just not figured out the break point for this particular element on the form. There's no other reason for it to be displayed like this. So they've probably done it on mobile, had a look at mobile because everybody's mobile first, and they didn't think about the desktop presentation. So that's pretty awful and pointless and needless. I'm not going to mention the LastPass thing.
Yeah. Oops. Yeah.
There
That's
are
just
many
funny.
issues with that, especially like if you have, which you should have in password fields where you can look at what you're entering, right? Oftentimes I see that particular function to see a password is obscured by LastPass,
Yeah.
which makes it really difficult to do either of the things that you're trying to do, either generate a password automatically or see a password that you've entered already.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's displaying in an address field. I
I
don't know,
don't
it might be
know.
your
And then it
particular
kind of
setup.
it covers up on a password field. I often
Mm,
find that the suggested password covers up
yeah.
the conditions, the various conditions,
Mm,
kind of copy underneath.
yeah.
I've got a lot of beef with this, but
Yeah.
it's kind of a
Okay.
necessary evil.
It
Anyway.
is. All right. So then we've got this field is optional, right?
Yeah. I
Mm,
mean, we can probably shred the examples of this underneath because they're a bit more egregious.
yeah.
Look at the pre.
Still, yeah. I know.
Oh, yeah.
There are issues afoot. Trouble, Will
um,
Robson. Yeah. It's Anyway. Despite the layout, you've got address line one, address line two, postcode.
it just
Fine.
doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you put? So when you're writing your letter tomorrow, you could put Mr. Joe Blogs,
Mhm.
123 Fake Street.
Yeah.
Then you can put in the postcode, and
Yeah.
then you can put in the county, and then at the bottom you can put in the city.
Yeah.
You see how you
Postcode comes last.
love you, right? Your postman will absolutely love
And
you.
I'm pretty sure city comes before county the
Yeah.
last time I checked.
No,
So,
why do you need county? You got a postcode,
yeah,
you've got line of address, you got the city. I
I
don't.
don't have an issue with county because I'm a bit of a pedant and I like everything to be entered correctly.
Yeah.
So I don't have an issue, but I would hope it's not compulsory.
My main gripe with this is that there's not an address finder on it.
Oh, well, that was going to be my next question since you're in charge of the keyboard.
Oh yeah.
Does it?
Oh
Oh,
yeah. My one
no,
fake street.
no. So no postcode lookup. That would have been helpful, right?
Yeah. But that has just uncovered another redeeming feature.
Go on.
Good idea, bad implementation. We'll put it
Oh,
in the
that's
category.
99% of the internet, though.
Yeah. Did you see what happened when I put in 123 Fake Street then?
It went
And this
green.
might be an implementation thing. You might not have seen what happened.
I saw the green, but it also went red to start off with. So what was the red? Why was it telling you red?
I don't know. Should we put in here? Off Smith Road. I think it's because it'd have given me a oh, that's interesting.
Oh, you haven't
Oh,
even gotten to postcode yet. Why
right
is it
then.
why is it
Right
shouting
then.
at you when you haven't even tried?
It, see, this is interesting because in this occasion, when I go backwards, it doesn't like it. With the
Hmm.
promo code, it wants you to go backwards.
Oh, yeah.
When I did here and I did this, it starts throwing out errors.
It's like
Um,
somebody put more effort into the promotion codes than they did into a crucial piece of information, like where it's being delivered to. It's
mm,
nice. Mm.
yeah. I hadn't noticed that before, but yeah, that's please don't shout at me. I've not got there yet.
Yeah, I know. And that is a very common problem. It's like you can just look at a field, go nowhere near it, and it's like, you
Mm,
fool.
put it in.
Put it. Mm. So, what do we like about this? Well, the validation is not great, so we don't like that. They have got green to indicate you might have done something right, which
Mm,
is fine. There are several issues. One, I'm guessing, doesn't meet contrast guidelines. It's quite a
no,
light green. Two, it is based on color alone, which is not enough for people who are
no.
colorblind, right? They won't see that any differently, pretty much. It'll be so minimal, they won't be able to tell there's a change in the field status. So you have to do more than just color. Come on,
I like
people.
using a tick.
Ticks are
Tick's
great.
good,
Yeah, ticks are
but that
good.
would be if it's stacked. That's an easy thing to do.
Easy to do
Having it
if one thing is on per line, right? Not
Mm.
easy if you just ram them all together in one row.
But I like the fact that they've thought about that. Does it make it a 4 out of 10?
No.
I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Postcode. What have it? Oh, go on then. Let's
So
make
what
that
have you got
happy.
on
Oh, you put a valid
Preston postcode?
postcode. Is that valid already?
That is a valid Preston postcode.
Right. What happens if it's not a valid postcode? Does it
Right.
pick up on that?
Mm, 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 mm. I'm pretty sure that's probably not one. No.
Oh, look at that.
Now, I might be very wrong on that, but I highly doubt that that's a valid postcode.
I very much doubt it isn't, but it's perfectly fine for this form. So don't you worry, it's going to get to you.
See, if you had an address finder, you
It'll
know,
be solved, right? Yeah. Yeah.
it's
I think my score's gone down to 2.5 now.
this knows I've been here before. West Yorkshire, City, Bridge. There we go. Right, we're making progress.
Yeah.
I think we've shredded that address bit, haven't we? It's terrible.
Oh, can we just check the tab order? So if you click into address line 1 and use a keyboard to tab, where does it go? Right.
Left to right.
Okay. Yeah. But it's the right tab order. Sometimes you can do a tab order test and you'll be in field 1 and then you're taken to field 5 and you're
I
like,
got that. Imagine if it went here, 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 here,
yeah,
here.
I've seen worse.
You'd be Anyway, we battled on through this now,
Okay, yes.
and we are now on to our personal details. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Mr. I don't want to specify. What relevance is it in this day and age? Absolutely zero.
Rubbish. Completely wasted field. And why are we using a drop down for this?
What for 3 options?
Mm.
Because it fits in because all those things are on one row.
Does it make it right?
No, no, it doesn't. There is no for this kind of form on an ecom site. I can think of very few reasons why you'd need title in there. To be honest with you, but it is. We should be grateful it's only 3 options and not 25. I've seen that before. Every title you can possibly imagine.
I've seen over 60.
Oh,
Baroness.
Baroness.
Air Commodore.
Oh, I fancy being an Air Commodore. I'd just put that in for shits and giggles, if I'm being honest.
I mean, it's cool, isn't it? It's cool
Yeah.
to be, but probably capturing about 0.00001%.
Yeah,
it's I'm going to buy my Zuko mounted.
Yes,
wall.
exactly that. So I don't believe title is really. So you guys must have some data around this. Have you got something about, removing that? What's the general theme or
Have we
feeling from
got any
Zuko?
specific data? But I don't know if we've. I'd love to have some kind of A/B test data examples, but none that come to mind. But I mean, it's every field is an obstacle, right? And so
Well,
when they're a bit
yeah.
unnecessary, well, this is completely unnecessary.
Mm.
It's not even in any way complete.
What happens if you don't want to specify on?
Nothing.
Okay, yeah. So
Apart from the fact that I can't see
you
what I've
can't
got
see
in
what you've selected.
Do not
Yeah.
want title, do not want.
Do
Um,
not want. I do not want this picture anymore.
let's
Okay.
not exaggerate. I very much want my mounted.
Yeah,
The
I'm sure
point
you
where I'm
do.
going to go through, I'm battling on.
I would be interested to see if when the physical package arrived, if it said like on the address, do do not want to specify.
We're going to have to order this, aren't we?
Oh, probably, yeah.
We're going to have to get
Right.
my identity card out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right. First name. Uh
right. So, Miss.
oh, it's
First
a
name's
mandatory field. You haven't
Right.
entered anything yet. You
I
looked at it.
haven't.
Did you
I
click
clicked
in
it and
it?
clicked out, I suppose.
Oh,
So we'll let him off.
yeah.
Um, right. I don't understand what this prefix is. I'm assuming that prefix is middle name, right? Or middle initial. I'm going to make an assumption there,
I
but I don't know.
think so.
I mean, why would you ever, the only time I can think about,
Is that the best you could come up with?
I can't think of any other.
Um, yeah,
Middle
I think
initial.
I think
Um,
prefix is I
well,
guess it's middle name. I'm
it's
kind
just,
of on the fence. It's a tricky one, right? Because I suppose it's more tricky when it comes to billing address when you're trying to match up what's on your card versus, what you're entering. So the details all match. I don't know. I quite like having first name and last as different boxes, but again, that's me of a generation that's been brought up with forms like that. I see more people are doing one input box for your name in its entirety. I imagine it's a bit trickier when it comes to database management and all that. It's different field configuration
yeah.
rather than making it nice and easy, first name, last name. Suddenly you've got mixed data if you're a purist, I would guess. Not sure prefix is necessary. And this field is opt. Is
It,
opt.
yeah.
Yeah.
This field is up.
If
So
it's opt,
do
you've
not
really got,
want, and this is
yeah, opt. If it's opt, if you've decided it's opt, then does it need to be on there? Is the question I would ask. And that is ripe for an A/B test, right? You just take out the optional fields and see what happens.
yeah. I mean, I'd honestly be inclined to just bin it. I don't even
Yeah,
test it, I just bin it. Like,
yeah. Some people are a little cautious though. I have found over the years, especially when it comes to checkout stuff.
mm,
I would say, well, let's just get a shot of it. But the client, they're more risk adverse, especially at this point,
yeah.
despite the damage that they are currently doing by adding barriers and friction. They still very much want to test properly if they can within the checkout. Um,
I reckon it's a database thing. I think you're right.
yeah, I think so.
Like,
Anyway,
sort out the back end, I would
yeah.
say.
But it's interesting to know that this field is op prefix is green is validated with nothing in there. So
Yeah,
nice.
I did it.
Then I'm thinking, well, did I put something in there because it's gone green, but I can't see anything?
No.
Query.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not great, is it? I
No.
think on the name thing, it depends. I think my opinion would be it depends on. So I think for a UK form,
Mm,
which I imagine this is for the vast majority,
yeah.
first name, last name is probably okay.
Mm,
It's when you start getting for a wider audience because it's very much a Western convention kind
yeah.
of thing.
you're absolutely right.
And then different countries, even then, it's kind of so Hungary does last name and then first name.
Mm,
Spain, you often have two surnames because you take your mother's surname and your father's surname.
yep.
So
So it has to be optimized on a localized level, right?
yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
But then I've seen, yeah, so I think that's why the name, just one field, the name is perhaps becoming more popular. The only other, the one example I've seen where it's causing friction is where it's not clear. So there is an example that I've seen where it's a name field, but it's mandatory to put in two names
Oh,
with a space, but with no indication of that around the field. So if you put in Adam, you'll
yeah.
get an error, but it won't tell you why.
Of course not. Where would the fun be?
That's my name. But yeah, yeah. So
Mm,
you
okay.
gotta, you do have to be careful.
Yeah. And like we said, there's no reason for all of that to be. It's like the section above. I don't understand why or that's four fields on one line.
Hmm.
No.
Yeah, it's giving me a headache, this form. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
It's a headache. I think there's so much going
Who
on.
said this to you? It was Chris,
It
wasn't it?
was
Thanks,
Chris.
Chris.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Chris. Cheers, Chris. Um,
Right,
yeah, I mean, there's
company.
just too much going on. It's busy. It's I don't know where to look. It's got colors. It's
Mhm.
but then other things that are quite important. And we'll come on to this in a minute because there's a horrible example underneath. But other things where like the messaging is quite important is there's no contrast to it, so it's lost. It's in
Yep.
italic. It's cut off by the
Yep.
side of the field. So let's just jump in. Let's
Yeah.
skip company and move on to this. So phone number
We'll only call if there's a problem with your.
or
Oh, it's like blankety blank, isn't it?
you'll
Some
win a
people might not
checkbook.
get that reference. Google it. It's a very funny program from years
You'll
ago.
get a golden checkbook if you get it. Is that blankety blank?
Blankety blank. Oh, I
I
can't
think you'll win a
remember.
checkbook. Anyway,
Mm.
um,
So
yeah,
we'll only call if there's a problem with your, I'm assuming, order, because
I
I'm being
mean,
generous. I could think of many other words that start with that letter that I could insert there, but I won't. Um, so why is it stuck in there as a placeholder? Why just not just take it out? Come on.
yeah. I mean, all right, redeeming point here,
Go on.
being kind. They've used copy around the field. Well, not around the field,
In
in the
the
field.
field.
But they've used copy
They have.
because they've identified that this is a sensitive field, I assume.
Uh,
Um,
I'm guessing they haven't well, they may know it's a sensitive field because they've done some Googling. They might not know the reasons behind that or the best way to subdue any friction around that field, which is evident from their implementation. I'll put it
hmm,
that way. Um, I don't want to ban the phrase best practices around because, I'll probably get cancelled for saying it. But there are some best practices that do actually work. Um, not putting crucial information within the input is one of them.
mm-hmm, absolutely.
So that's,
What happens if I mean, yes, I can't see the message now, so
yeah, so yeah, that's another
it's
problem.
fixed next to it.
Mm,
It absolutely should be for this, so everybody sees it at
yeah,
all times.
yeah. It could just go below the field label, right? Below phone number, just like phone number. Then the user's thinking, well, why do you need that? And then you've immediately answered the question in
Yeah.
text that you can read without.
Don't put it in an icon. This is causing all kinds of debate at the minute.
Oh, I wouldn't put it behind an icon.
People
That
saying, yeah, but for
no.
the aesthetics, it should go behind an icon because otherwise it looks messy and blah blah blah.
But who's that?
Oh
Who is
no.
who is that pleasing? It's the person doing the design work, right? And other stakeholders who do not understand the basic principles of usability and reducing friction. If it's good enough to have an icon, or important enough to have an icon there, then you shouldn't require the user to either click or hover over that icon to see what information you've hidden. It's utter lunacy. Just
Mm,
display it up front because, ugh,
Thank
especially
you,
don't,
Abby.
yeah, no, it infuriates me. And probably even more so if it's on hover, because then you're like, oh, now it's disappeared again once I move my mouse to fill in the field. So the
Mm.
useful information that I needed has now disappeared.
You're lucky to have a mouse. Imagine if you're on a mobile phone
Yes,
and you got
exactly.
big uncoordinated digits like me, and I'm
Yeah,
trying to find this tiny little icon to figure out what's going on, and then I
yeah,
start clicking because I can't.
yeah. And then if you tap it, I bet it balks the layout, right? If you tap it, sometimes it gets confused and it zooms everything. So all of a sudden, all you have is a huge, look how helpful we are being with this tooltip for this field. And then you can't get back to the field that you were trying to fill in the
Yeah,
first
and
place.
then you've given up at that point.
Yeah, no.
Just have it as fixed copy. This is no longer open for discussion.
Stop
No
it.
icons. Stop doing it. Right. We'll try and input something.
Okay.
Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Okay.
Alice accepted that. Okay.
Accepted that. Does it allow a space? Yeah.
Oh, good.
I'm not sure there's much validation going on here though, because do you remember with that postcode field, it lets you put anything in.
Yeah, I bet put some
I'll
letters
go
in
back
there.
to this and just see if I can put in something like that.
So you've got there is some, but it's not
Something.
actually checking. All it's looking for is the correct data pattern for the input. So postcode is
Hmm. We're being unkind.
no one. No, we're being truthful, and people need to sort this crap out. It's exhausting. I need to retire at some point, and I'm sick of doing it. So, come on.
I need to take up the mantle.
Yeah, I think so.
Put in that. Well, okay, it works. Fine.
Yeah, that's okay.
My main beef is with this. I
Yeah,
can't. Oh, I
it's
mean, it's cut off. I can't.
yeah.
I can barely see it anyway.
hmm
It's a
What happens if
placeholder.
you can you put letters in there rather than digits?
Oh,
Eek.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Mm.
Can you put more digits than you would ordinarily for a phone number? This is the sort of thing that I do. It's just like, how can I break it?
Right. Enter a phone number.
So, you know,
I mean, if we're getting your error message should match the nature of the error.
yes. So, wouldn't it be helpful here to say something like, that's a lot of digits? You sure that's right?
You can't pull the wool over my eye. I know that you're blagging me.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Okay.
11 digits, use a space if you want, but
Yeah.
11 digits, UK phone number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So error messages, important, match the nature of the error.
Of
Use
the error.
generic.
Be specific if you can, right? And the worst thing is like this field is optional, or what's the other one that you always see on, when nobody's bothered to look at the error messaging? Please correct this
This
field,
field,
or
it's mandatory.
please enter valid input. All of that stuff.
Yeah. The worst ones are when you have one possible error message per field for any
Yeah.
given scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have 15 potential errors around the field, and it just says, that says mandatory.
Yeah, exactly that. And one of my favorite things to do when I first look at a form is just to hit the submit button before I've done anything.
We do it.
Oh, yeah.
Some stuff out.
You might need to go, you could go back to the basket just for a little look for a discount code if you want.
Oh, look. You have a promo code. Now let's. Right, review pick. Oh.
Oh.
What happened then? Well, it gave me this box here. It's just it's triggered all the errors, hasn't it?
It has.
Okay, and that's all right, actually. I quite like that. So interacting with the CTA and it going to the I mean, I want to say the first error in the list. There isn't really a list here because it's just
you can't make a list out of disorder, right?
Yeah, it's it's
Mm,
not organized chaos, it's just chaos.
no.
But there is some sort of auto scroll thing going on.
Yeah,
So that's okay.
maybe. It's
That's
that is they get 1 point for effort.
See that score is growing now.
It's not. It's well, it's
Up to,
3.5 now, but
up
I'm
to
sure I can
five.
take it down again.
um, this red box around here,
Mm,
it's red and it's small. I mean, we're going to come on to this anyway because this
yeah.
is small for me. It's far too small. Um, Error message functionality. Again, redeeming points, I think.
Yep. Does the terms and conditions link work?
I'm going to imagine that it does. Right, okay.
Okay.
Opens up a new window.
Well, that's a bonus. I've seen them open up on the same page.
Yeah, that's what I mean, that's what I was going for, honestly. I knew that's what would happen.
Hmm.
Um, okay, fine. This is too small. This is far too small.
Yeah, and I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it being under that basket summary either. So if you're focusing on this form, right, you're dealing with the left-hand side of the page, yeah?
Mm.
And then all of a sudden you have to flip over to the right side of the page. And then
Mhm.
if you've triggered errors, you're now going left and right, left and right, left and right. Um, my gut feeling is to have, the review and pay in terms and conditions within the form column rather than over on the summary side, because I think it's a lot less of going back and forth. Especially if you're on like high resolution screen, and if they've got this set to like 100% width, or which is another of my pet hates at the moment, because you literally look like you're playing tennis. You've got to move your head physically because your eyes can't pan the entire screen.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so I'm not so sure about that. Again, they've just used color to highlight the issue around not accepting the terms and conditions. It's not good enough, really.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
I think this definitely needs to go underneath. There needs to be a proper, you need to lead the horse to water,
yeah.
right? You
To lead
gotta,
them to the CTA.
that's it. X, Y, Z, submit.
Bang. Yeah,
Not
exactly. Done.
not all over the place like this.
No.
I mean, to be fair, my eyes have been going all over the place since we landed on this form. So I'm just,
Are you seeing double yet?
yeah, pretty much with all the colours and everything going on.
Mm,
Oh yeah, but this
okay.
is too small. This is far too
Yeah.
small, especially on a mobile.
Yeah.
I've been trying to. I mean, can you? You can interact. You can interact with the text, and it will check the box, but then you're running the risk of them hitting that
Clicking
link.
on the thing that, yeah, on a different thing. So that's a tricky one. You could take the checkbox. You could have the whole element as clickable as accepting, but then remove the link to the terms and conditions, obviously, so you don't get any confusion there.
A big,
Um,
a big checkbox.
or you can
Uh,
put in a big checkbox, yeah, but sometimes, just having the whole containing element perform that action to, because people have got fat fingers, small fingers. If I've been doing loads of gardening, my fingers don't work with my phone anymore. Apparently, I have no electrical current going through me. He's literally like, it's not working anymore. Wet hands.
mm,
There's a whole number of reasons why tapping on something is difficult. So, especially within a very specific area, which might be quite small. So, on touch devices. So, really, generally, the more tappable area available, the better. Right? Not
yeah,
everybody's got a cursor.
no.
I tell you the other thing that I've because
Go
I'm
on.
because I'm going blind, I've had to increase the size of my cursor. Right, I have hit that point. I have had to make it bigger, and actually, even though I'm not on like full size cursor enhancement, with the slightly bigger one, if I just hover over your screen now, checking that box would be quite difficult because the cursor's so big, so I can't see what I'm checking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not good, is it? I
No.
think my main, yeah, I think the main issue around this is going to be on mobile, I reckon. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, it's small anyway. I think it's small anyway. And then people have just battled through this form, and then they get into that CTA there. They might
Yeah.
even miss it because it's just small in the first place. And then
Yeah.
you'll see the behavior of review and pay.
Yeah.
That.
Right, go on then. Have a look at it in the mobile view on DevTools, right? Let's just see. Because this is going to highlight another beef of mine, which I have got many.
Here we
Right,
go.
so if you go down to that checkbox now,
Yeah.
right, with this view, it's still easy to check that, right? Because you are using a cursor,
Yeah.
okay? That doesn't emulate the problem on a physical device with a finger.
Hmm.
So if you do that on a physical device with a finger, it's going to be super difficult, right? And I think this is where it goes wrong in terms of usability when we're talking about the transition from mobile to desktop and vice versa, because this is often the view that developers will have when they're developing it, right? They don't have a physical device to look at it in the wild to see how it actually performs when you're trying to do something on a touchscreen.
Hmm.
Many of the issues I find with QA is because literally developers have had this view of it in Chrome DevTools and not on a physical device. So it's just another thing to mention to people that if you are looking at this, please, please, please just go around your office, your family, whoever it is, and have a look at it on all of their devices and see if it functions in a way that you're expecting. Is it usable? Can you tap on stuff? Can you see stuff? Can you zoom in and out easily and the layout goes back to the way that it should be? Just something to mention. Please don't just solely rely on Chrome DevTools or emulators. Even Browser Stack, right? You can see the device on the screen, but you're still using a mouse to control that device. It is not the same as having the physical device in your sticky mitts.
Yeah.
Oh,
And if you're
sorry. Did I
analyzing
rant?
split, if you're analyzing the split between your traffic, right, what's the percentage of my traffic coming in a mobile? I think
Yeah.
it's almost certainly going to be the majority, I would. Well, we've already caveated by saying, stuff like this, you got to upload your pictures.
Mm,
We were talking about checkouts generally, let's say, without it being
yeah,
artwork and stuff like that.
yeah.
You're probably going to have a majority of mobile users.
Um, it's funny, isn't it? The most conversion rates I
And I don't
see are on
know.
desktop, not on mobile. Mobile conversion rates are generally much lower from the clients that I have worked with. And it
Oh
is,
yeah, in terms of
yeah,
conversion rates, definitely.
yeah.
I feel
But
that's
in
the volume.
volume, yes,
Mm,
which kind of
mm,
goes feeds into my secret theory about people just look on mobiles and then do the big work on a desktop. I think that's what's happening.
mm.
Well, there we are. Oh, anything else to pull apart on this?
I mean, I think it's in the morgue by this stage. Do you not think?
Uh, is now the right time to ask for feedback? What happens when you click on that? That's been annoying me for the past
Oh,
10 minutes.
this
Yeah.
is this a kind of a content square type thing? Oh no, get feedback. I want to
Uh,
give feedback. I need help. Oh, so here's our chatbot.
oh, right. So what should be the priority on this page? I'm in the middle of a purchase. Am I really going to give you feedback? No.
Right, there we
I
go.
might need your help. Oh, how would you rate your
Here we
experience
go.
today?
Be honest.
Well, they get the first one from me, the angry one, obviously.
Very angry, actually.
Yeah,
Definitely not this.
yeah. There is a time and a place to ask for feedback. Unless you have a very good business reason to be doing that on a page like this and you can't figure it out from other data sources, don't. Offer help if it's required.
There's
Sure.
two. Annotate. What's this?
Ooh, I don't know. What are you clicking on?
Do you really want to go down that road? I
Go
don't
on, what
know.
is it? What is it?
Oh, is this something to it might to, oh, it's to
Oh,
do
it
with
might be a Zoom thing. I don't
oh,
think you
we're
should
being
worry about
unfair.
that.
See, we're being unfair.
You could just write all over this and say fail.
Detention.
Yes.
Um, you're
Uh,
absolutely right. There's too much stuff on this that is distraction, I think.
yeah, and I this isn't a
Feedback,
Adam.
promo.
Yeah, but this isn't the worst example I've seen of distraction throughout the checkout.
No.
Actually, you know, it's low mid score for me for in terms of distraction. It is fairly clean, but there is so much more that could be done to make it way better. And this is the thing, all of the stuff that we've talked about, it's not complicated. Would you say
No.
any of it is complicated to
No.
fix? I don't think so. And
No.
yet, you know, it's
What's
not.
more complicated is this design,
Mm.
in a loose sense of the word, that they've come up with.
Yeah.
It's mad. Mad.
Yeah, it is a little bit. And it's a shame because like I said, a lot of this could be fixed within an afternoon. And I'm being generous. It probably would take less time than that. Yeah,
No.
go on. Let's have a quick look at the bottom. I just wanted to have a look at the bottom of the screen. What's on there?
Down here.
Right. So it'd be interesting to know what their average page fold is, to see if this information is coming up. So I would kind of like to know the ways that I could pay before I.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like they need to come up a bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, customer satisfaction guaranteed. We want you to have a positively unforgettable experience with us. Well, they've achieved that. Maybe not the positive. If not, we're here to help and find the best solution. I'm not sure that's really any kind of guarantee that means anything.
No,
A
I don't.
guarantee to me is if you get it and you don't like it, we'll give you your money back.
Yeah, I think we'll
Right.
put that in the waffle drawer.
Yeah. Waffle drawer.
Mm. That's just waffle, isn't it?
It's
Privacy. Really protect your privacy. 100%. Use the greatest care and never share them with third parties. Okay. Safe payment. Payments are completely safe. Okay. Yeah.
right.
That's not a guarantee, is it? That's just waffle.
It's all.
Mm.
Oh, so want to swear. I'm not going to.
I think you've let out a couple.
That's good for me,
Mm.
as you know.
I've been holding back.
Have you? I
Yeah.
haven't really let complete loose because it is Wednesday after all. It's a tough
Yeah.
day for everybody. But yeah, I think the summary of this entire call is that I reckon if we can pull out this much stuff in what we've been talking for like an hour or something, it's just time and attention, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think it's just been a bit lacking. I think it needs a bit of TLC, this, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's not a complete shit show. I swore it's fine because that's the way I would describe it. It's not the
Mm.
worst that I have seen.
No.
It's certainly far from the best. It
Mm.
is low middle of the road, and I find
You
it
want to review
infuriating.
your score then?
No, they get three. I'm still going to give them three or whatever. Um, they lose points for just the utter stupidity of what they've done.
Mm.
They lose points for not realizing that, not as far as I'm aware, and not making just fundamental changes to the usability to
Mm.
ensure that it is frictionless. It is a shame.
Yeah. No, it is a shame because I
Mm,
really wanted that mounted print logo
I know
wall.
you did. You were desperate, but you're not going to review and pay now, are you?
Oh, I'm afraid not. No.
No.
Just because I don't know why they want my phone number. Kind of sent me away, really. I've only got
Yeah.
like half the message.
And that's like you say, it's just why standard messaging? Well, in case something's gone wrong with your photo upload, right? Or we've got a recommendation to make this even more perfect for you. You know, I've had companies that have done that similar sort of thing where I've submitted something and, you know, Jesus Christ, a human rang me up, a human. And they
Mm.
were very helpful and said, yeah, we've just sort of had a look at what you wanted to do, but we reckon X, Y, and Z would be way better for it. And I was grateful for that call that somebody bothered to take the time before they had produced what I had asked and said, look, this is not going to work. This would be better. And that wasn't an expensive purchase. It's not like it was 500 quid. It was maybe 30, but there was still somebody at the end of a phone, ringing me out of the blue and saying, Abby, you need to fix this. Are you okay for us to do that? And that was for a low level purchase. And for something like this, humans would be nice. Maybe somebody's got your back. Do you know what I mean? Because if you've poured time and effort into creating a photo book, for example, it could have 50 odd photos in there, Anyway, I've gone off piste.
No, not at all.
The point of the matter is providing a phone number for stuff like this actually has many benefits because, why not?
I think that for the phone number, even just saying often with checkouts is, well, the courier might need, if the courier can't find your address.
Yeah.
It happens on my street all the time because we've got a bit of a weird address.
Yeah.
So, just saying the courier might, if the courier is going to struggle to find you, pass this on to the courier so they can contact you.
Yeah.
It's highlighting the advantage to the user in giving their number because the advantage is I'm going to get my parcel delivered when I want it, as opposed to, oh, I haven't given my number, and now that they've got no means of contacting me other than email, that I'm not going to pick up while they're trying to deliver it.
Yeah, exactly that.
I mean, there's people who are copywriters who are far more talented on this than I am, but it's kind of putting it in, highlighting the advantage to the user in providing that information.
Yeah.
Because their default thought is just going to be, this is a marketing grab.
Yes, exactly that. You have to understand the perceived value for the user. What are they going to get out of them providing you with what is essentially, quite sacred information? Nobody wants their phone number out on a million spam lists or, anything like that. I feel the same way about my email address as well. It's just like, so yeah, I mean, if you can understand what the value is for the user and articulate that within the messaging on the form. So, they feel like them handing you this information has a bigger benefit than not, then you're on to a winner, and it doesn't need to be complicated copy. It's really about addressing concerns or addressing potential issues that might happen. So, yeah.
It's some thought, isn't it? Thinking about the message that you convey.
Yeah, exactly that.
Same for everything. Error messages, everything.
All of it, but nobody bothers because it's not fun and shiny and sexy. But it's basic usability.
Yeah. I'm going to be a bit I'm going to give it 4 thumbs up.
Out of what? 20?
10. 4 thumbs up.
4 out of 10.
Yeah.
No.
Because, and the only reason is because I've found this experience as painful as you have. However, I can see that there has been an attempt.
An attempt
to use some thought has gone into it. The implementation is not great, but at least the thought has been there that we could use positive validation. I'm trying to find some other example. Progress bar. Something. Yeah. So 4 thumbs up.
You're too
generous.
But
Chris, never send me anything like this ever again.
No, I think we open up the forum now because I want somebody to send me a form where either they think I might give it a 10, or actually it's so awful it gets minus numbers. There's the challenge.
Minus thumbs.
Minus thumbs. No thumbs. 0 thumbs. No toes either.
Okay.
I think we should do the worst form. I mean, I know we have a side project for a form that I've talked about with Alan. I don't know if he's mentioned it to you.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it's a beaut. But we're saving that. So if anybody else in the meantime has some horrendous form, or if anybody thinks they've done a really good job on a form and would like a review of it, I think we should do that.
I think.
Challenge
And
accepted.
you get 10 thumbs up by Abby.
Ugh, it's not going to happen.
What's your prize if it happens?
The prize, I won't
Mm.
roast them on LinkedIn.
You're really selling it.
I don't know what the prize would be. Just congratulations for being a decent human being. Would that suffice? I don't know.
We're not that mean, I don't think.
You're
I think
not.
it's
I
fair.
am. um, fair. Yeah, harsh
Fair.
but fair, I think. Yeah, harsh but fair.
Tough love.
Yeah, suck it up.